lost me a little bit with your support of Kemp, but let me tell you this.
Not support of
some
Kemp.
of his policies.
I mean, that's some misinformation. You cannot like me, but don't lie on me. I saw someone I really respect, a black woman who's a commentator.
So you don't support him, you like his policies.
Well, I support
some specific ones named.
Beyond that, he's the governor of my state, so I have to be involved with him because I can't divorce myself. But let me say this. If you criticize someone, don't lie. Don't say I didn't support Abrams because I did.
I'm a former prosecutor.
Yeah.
And there were some other headlines that came out. And I was very upset about it.
Yeah.
Because it was unnecessary, and you don't do that on that special night.
We all know the View panelists have a long history of attacking anyone who doesn't fall in line with their woke agenda. But what happened when Killer Mike stepped onto their stage after bagging 3 Grammys? Pure chaos. The second he sat down, they tried to drag him into their political nonsense. But trust me, you're gonna want to stick around till the end because the way he humiliated Sunny Hostin, brutal. She was left stunned, speechless, and scrambling. And it's honestly one of the most satisfying moments in TV history. But before we dive into this absolute train wreck, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more explosive takedowns like this.
Now, telling people not to stop dreaming.
No, you cannot stop dreaming.
Anything is possible.
You have to. You have to keep whatever 9-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old is in your head, keep that child alive. No matter what you see in the mirror, you're still that child. And your imagination has to be bigger than the room, bigger than the building, bigger than the sky, because if you keep the imagination alive, everything is possible.
That's right.
When you limit your imagination, nothing becomes as possible as it could be.
If you don't know Killer Mike, buckle up. Because he's not just a rapper, he's a force. He's been a powerhouse in the Atlanta hip-hop scene for decades, best known for his work with Run the Jewels. But he's not just about music, he's a movement. A master lyricist who blends artistry with activism, Killer Mike has used his voice to fight for real change, advocating for policies that uplift Black communities and making waves in political circles. Fast forward to 2024, and this man just hit the peak of his career, 3 Grammys. His critically acclaimed album Michael dominated, winning Best Rap Album, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song. You'd think that when he walked onto The View, the hosts would be celebrating his success, right? Wrong. Instead of applauding this historic moment, Sunny Hostin came at him with pointed, almost hostile questions, like she had a personal vendetta. The energy shifted fast, and what should have been a victory lap turned into a straight-up interrogation. And trust me, you won't believe how it all went down. Watch what happened next.
You know, I'm a former prosecutor.
Yeah.
And there were some other headlines that came out. I was very upset about it.
Yeah.
Because it was unnecessary, and you don't do that on that special night.
Yeah.
Especially for what I read about.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna ask you is, there was an incident at the Grammys. It led to you being taken out in handcuffs and arrested. That was wrong. Obviously, it's an ongoing legal matter, so I don't know how much you can say about it.
Well, as a prosecutor, you know I can't say it.
You can't say much. But can you just give us some sort of description, because people are they're talking too much.
I think the backstage was overcrowded. I think the winners were exuberant. And I think security got a little overzealous, and that's all. It's water under the bridge for me. Yeah. I like to say all of my heroes have been in handcuffs: Malcolm, Martin, Mandela, Medgar. So, I walked out with the same dignity and respect that I walked in with, and I would implore people to just take that from it. Don't dwell on the bad stuff. And the next morning,
crazy, right?
Shocking, right? Sunny wasn't just asking questions, she was on a mission. She zeroed in on one moment from Grammy night, Mike's brief arrest after a backstage scuffle with security. Never mind his historic wins, she wanted to make sure that's what people remembered. And here's the kicker. As a former prosecutor, she knows he can't talk about an open case. So why bring it up? Simple. To make sure the audience didn't forget it happened. But Mike didn't break. He flipped the script, showing once again why he refuses to be defined by negativity. Then, things took a political turn, and the panel's true intentions exposed. Wait till you hear what Alyssa Farah asked him next.
You're equally well known for being a political activist on top of your music, and you were a campaign surrogate for Bernie Sanders. You campaigned for your home state Democratic senators Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff.
Yep.
Yeah, and you got some attention recently for being somewhat critical of President Biden, saying you weren't ready to endorse him yet. What's your holdup there?
What's my hope? Well, first of all, I think everyone should focus on hyper-local. We get caught up in the soap opera of federal elections, and that's fine. But if you are concerned with the federal election, you don't know who your city council or your wardsman is, you don't know who your mayor is, and you don't have a good list of state representatives or governor, then you're just a part of whoever wins the Super Bowl or fanfare. Even though we have a Republican governor, Brian Kemp, I have a good relationship with him. I like what he's done in terms of Georgia business. We've been leading business amongst all states for the last 10 years, and he brought back the Hope Scholarship and expanded it. So if you're a kid in Georgia, you're poor, you got a B average, you can go to college for free or trade school. So in my community, girls are going to college, but boys don't have anywhere to go, and they're not choosing to. In my community, I have a push for trades. That's why I support organizations like Georgia Youth Build. I support organizations like Next Level Boys Academy, because they usher out boys. I need my daughters to be able to marry somebody. Right. So, and even in that case, I have said, okay, this governor's doing a good job. In terms of nationally, I'm just kind of doing what my grandfather said, staying out of white folks' business and watching what happens.
That question, a total setup. It was designed to guilt trip Mike into endorsing Joe Biden. But here's the thing. Killer Mike isn't some clueless celebrity. He spent decades making real change in Atlanta, uplifting young Black Americans through education, economic empowerment, and community development. In a past interview, he credited his activist roots to his grandmother, who took him to city council meetings at just 5 years old. Her words stuck with him. You're supposed to help your neighbor. And that's exactly what he's done, using his platform to inspire a new generation of leaders. But guess what? Sunny Hostin wasn't having it. Seeing a celebrity of his caliber refuse to fall in line with her agenda, it visibly irritated her. And what happened next? A moment so legendary it left everyone speechless. Watch this.
You lost me a little bit with your support of Kemp, but let me tell you this.
Not supportive
some of
Kemp.
his policies.
That's some misinformation. You cannot like me, but don't lie on me. I saw someone I really respect, a Black woman who's a commentator.
So you don't support him, you like his policies.
Well, I support
some specific ones named.
Beyond it, he's the governor of my state, so I have to be involved with him because I can't divorce myself. But let me say this. If you criticize someone, don't lie. Don't say I didn't support Abrams, because I did. Don't say that I don't support Democrats, because I've helped get 3 Democratic mayors elected. I've helped get 2 state representatives elected. But if someone is in the king's seat, I'm not going to not have dinner with the king on behalf of my people. I have to do.
This moment says everything about Killer Mike's approach to leadership. His work with the government, it was never about endorsing a political agenda. It was about getting real results for his community. Unlike so many others, he's not here for partisan games or empty virtue signaling. His only mission? Making real change happen, no matter who's in office. And that's exactly the kind of no-nonsense, results-driven mindset we desperately need in today's divided world. Politicians come and go, but communities last. And Mike? He knows that true leadership means working with whoever's in power to make a difference where it actually matters. He even addressed the backlash in another interview, saying, "People got mad that I didn't publicly support their candidate, but they forgot the ones I did support. Then they'll lie and say I backed someone else." He made it crystal clear. I'm not a politician's tool. And let's be real, in a world where political loyalty trumps real progress, Mike's stance is a breath of fresh air. His approach could be exactly what we need to bridge the divide and start solving real issues that affect everyday Americans. But what do you think? Do you agree with Mike? Let's get the conversation rolling. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.